The Luck Stops Here podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. Come on, everybody, play the pick'em game. If you listen to last week's show where I talked about that guy and his kid where he monitors his nighttime erections, well, also gave out an Underdog pick'em that hit for 6 times the money. So get in over there. You can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. Pick between 2 and 5 players for a pick'em entry. You can also make a rivals pick, which pits 2 players against each other, like which player will have more yards. I mean, I already told you how much I love it. So all you got to do is sign up with our promo code LSH and get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Visit underdogfantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with my promo code LSH to get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use our promo code Bowser and get your deposit doubled up to $1,000, as well as a $10 free casino chip. That's promo code Bowser, where you can bet on all kinds of crap over there. I'm betting on pro wrestling this weekend. Yeah, I got Royal Rumble bets because it's fucking anarchy over here. So get over there, promo code Bowser, mybookie.ag for your free casino chip and a 100% deposit bonus. You can also pay in crypto. They'll pay you in crypto. It's a wild world out there. All right, everybody, time for the show. Yeah, we're back in the saddle. We're doing this. We're all over the place. Got a fun show. Without further ado, I'll bring on this week's guest, longtime friend, comedian extraordinaire, Mr. Dave Ross. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you, dude.
Yeah, dude. Good seeing you, man. I love what you've been doing lately with because I'm a fan of the Billionaires Are Good scene, and
cool.
I also but I love what you did last year with like your records and stuff, where you released a different record each month. I thought that was a really cool idea.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of that, and I'll never do it again for sure. It was so much work. I can't believe I didn't jump off a fucking bridge. But yeah, turns out making one record a month is difficult. Did you know that?
Yeah, I can imagine. Making one a year would be pretty difficult.
Totally. But no, I am proud of it. Thanks, dude. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, no, and like it was really cool the way it came out, where like at the end, if you did it all, it came with like a box that folded up and like it all fit in there. So like, it all flowed together, and I was like, that's a really cool idea.
Thanks, man. That's cool. Thank you, dude.
Because I've been thinking about doing like a Christmas album coming up.
Oh, you should. With that. Okay, look, I know that y'all watching and listening are fans of Scott's. I'm a fan of Scott's, but we haven't been in touch it's been a minute now. Yeah. So I don't even know what your world is now. Like, honestly, I got to tell you, I'm impressed at the amount of sponsors that you have. I was like, damn, dude, this guy has ads. I don't have that at all. And I want your help now. But also, one of the reasons is, I don't know, Scott, I don't know if you remember this, but one time you said this thing to me that I think about all the fucking time, dude. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I think maybe you were in a blackout, but you said, I figured out the math on my comedy. And I was like, okay. And you were like, no beers in.
Oh, yeah.
I suck. 2 beers in, I'm pretty good. 5 beers in, I'm all right. 10 beers in, I'm the greatest comedian who ever lived. And 15 beers in, I'm the worst comedian who ever lived. And now, you got promo codes and shit. And so I'm proud of you, buddy.
It's the cycle of it's the cycle of confidence. You gotta at 10 beers, it's the perfect level of confidence to truly not care how bad you're actually bombing, because you're great in your head.
But at 15, you don't even have the mental faculties to do it anymore. Right.
Can't do it. Yeah. It's just embarrassing. Like you're like the cords coming out of the mic.
Yeah, totally, man. I feel like at 10, I'm done. I mean, what kind of beers are we talking, dude? Because
see, I'm a changed man. It's true. Cause like, I don't really even drink much beer anymore. I built a whole cocktail bar.
Oh, no shit. Cool, man. That's
Dude,
great.
I've lost like 50 pounds since, because like,
Dude, I know.
it's like drinking a 6-pack of beer is basically eating 2 loaves of bread.
I know, man. And I like, dude, I'm one of those jerk offs that just like needs a beer to cost $9 and have 400 calories in it for me to love it. You know, that's just slowly happened to me more and more the bigger my beard's gotten. So I like, and I moved, you know, I lived in LA, and in LA, like I would get drunk in LA, but I wouldn't go for it because I was always driving.
Yep.
And then I moved to New York City 2 years ago. And so at 40 years old, for the first time in my life, I don't have a car and I can get drunk whenever I want. And so I got drunk every day, dude.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I just keep gaining weight. And it's because I do that thing where I'll switch to vodka sodas or tequila sodas, but then I hate that I don't want to, I would rather not drink than just drink this like dirty water. So I'm just chugging IPAs and just ballooning, dude. It's crazy. Bigger than I've ever been.
You see, I got up over 300 pounds, and part of it was
oh wow.
I sat around during COVID like I was in Goodfellas in a robe, fucking making pasta sauce like the prison scene all the day, and making huge, just massive meals, and
yeah,
just
dude,
housing so much. Like a lot of I didn't drink much during COVID, really.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people started drinking a lot. I just started eating a lot. I would just smoke like an ounce of weed a week and fucking eat everything in sight, and like play video games.
Wait, so did you move to Vegas during the pandemic? Is that when you went out there?
I moved here right before, like May of 2019.
What took you out there? Just like wanted to be there?
Well, LA was getting a little pricey, and like I was like,
the city wears on you too, man. It's
and I'm like, I was like, dude, I was working at a 7-Eleven, pulling in a few shifts and going on like commercial auditions for like Old Spice, and I'm
brutal, dude.
And I'm like, is this really what I want to do right now with my life, dude?
What 7-Eleven were you working at? I wish I knew. I would have gone. Damn.
The one at Rowena, and
oh really? That one? Yeah. The one where dude, that 7-Eleven specifically is so weird because that neighborhood is so nice. It's like right at the edge of Silver Lake, and it's at the like douchey part of Silver Lake with the bars where like everyone's an asshole. But that strip mall is dangerous for some reason. Like I went there one time and that laundromat got shot up. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like 100% of the crime rate in that area. In that little strip mall.
Why is that?
I don't know, dude.
It was you, wasn't it? It was all you.
Dude, there was some funny shit when I worked there. Like one time there was a guy jerking off at me through the window. And that was like me. That was like 5 p.m. like on a broad daylight. Like it wasn't
what?
And we called the cops and stuff, and they're basically like, yeah, we're not gonna really do anything about that. And we're like, what? Like, you're basically sheriff of your own domain. And so when the guy came back, we had an axe handle that we kept behind the thing. And I came around the corner counter and I started poking him in the chest. I got long arms, so poking him in the chest with this thing, banging him out the door. And my coworker picked him up in a fireman's carry and threw him over the little wall onto the sidewalk outside.
What? Wait, he was jacking off in the 7-Eleven?
No, outside. And he was staring at us through the window, jacking off at us. What was funny part about it was I was standing where I was standing by the registers. The lotto machine blocked it all so I just saw him, his arm obviously cranking it, and then he's smiling at me. And then I can't see any of the dong or anything. So I got the funny part.
That's good.
The gross part. So
God, I wish the end of the story was that you were married to this guy now. Dude, for those of you who've never been to that 7-Eleven, it's like 150 feet from a Pinkberry. There's a bar called The Friend that's like
there's a Gelson's right there.
Yeah, dude, there's a Trader Joe's. It's it's crazy.
Trader Joe's that got shot up by the LAPD. So I mean,
what?
Dude, remember that when like the guy was like killed his grandma or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And car and ran into the Trader Joe's, and they had to shoot him down, and they ended up shooting like people that worked there.
Right, dude. My thing is, I can't believe the LAPD found somewhere to park. Thank you.
Am I right?
That Trader Joe's notoriously you can't park there.
Oh,
No, but anyway, this is all a long way of saying like. So I don't know what comedy is for you, man. So when you say Christmas album, what's a Christmas album?
See, I was thinking of doing my like one side of a bunch of little vignettes and stuff, and maybe I do a couple parody
sketches?
songs and stuff. Yeah, a couple sketches and a couple parody songs. I always want to do my cover of Christmas in Cape Town by Randy Newman, because it's the only Christmas song where you can say the N-word.
Oh, buddy.
I'm not actually going to put that on there. But what I really want to do is do like like at least one side would be like me doing a version of A Christmas Carol.
Oh.
But I want to do it in like okay, no one steal this idea, but I want to do it in like podcast form where it's like I'm bringing on Marley and the ghosts of Christmas past and future as the guests throughout the evening.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, dude. Wow.
They're kind of telling me how big of a piece of shit I am and stuff.
Damn, that's really funny, man. Yeah, the what's that character's name?
Scrooge.
The Scrooge podcast. That's really funny, dude. I like that.
The Scrooge cast or whatever.
Yeah, man.
So like I was thinking of doing that, but then like I was like, I don't know, that could get stale. Like tighten that up, make it like a tight, like 22-minute, like a half hour like spec script kind of like length, you know?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then but then I was like, all right, well then what would you do for like the rest of the album? I'm like, I can just dick around and I don't know. Like I'll think of stuff, but and maybe have friends come on and do stuff with me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's cool, dude.
Maybe make the other half actually like an old timey like Frank Sinatra, like
I love that shit, man. Yeah, dude. Like an old Colgate Comedy Hour style. You hear the like needle, the record needle sounds and shit.
Yep.
That's cool, man. I like that.
But yeah, so when did you move to New York exactly? What year was it?
I moved like right when LA was coming out of the pandemic, actually, and actually they kind of aren't even fully. But I moved in like April of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I've been here. Oh man, I guess it's like 2.5 years now. And I love it, dude. I love it. I should have moved here 20 years ago. I vibe completely with the city. I love not having a car. I love trains.
I had that in LA and that sucked there, but it would rule New York. And like,
yes,
I always thought I would want to live in New York for at least 3 years just to go, because I love New York. Every time I visit, I'm like, I don't want to leave. I love it there.
So that was the only. Sorry, go ahead.
Vegas. I gotta say, for me, something about me just identifies with puke stained streets and drunk drivers.
Yeah, well, we have that in New York if you want it, you know.
Okay,
yeah, we got plenty of that. But I know what you mean, dude. Vegas is fun in its own specific way, and like it's this kind of place that doesn't even occur to people to live in. It never occurred to me, but now that I think about it, like living there for a year or two sounds like I would love to know what that feels like. Well, I know it's never going to happen for me, but yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's funny actually, because I'm probably going to be coming and visit New York in the next year or so.
Oh, hit me up, dude.
Yeah, I will. Buddy of mine owns a bar in Brooklyn on Bushwick, and
What's the bar?
I can't remember what it's called, but
okay.
I'm involved in Photo Finish Live, a digital horse racing game where you own and race horses, and they got a big gambling sponsorship now where people bet on the actual races and stuff. And like, I breed and sell digital horses and stuff for the purpose of racing and gamble on them.
Horses, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a crazy world, man.
It's wild. I actually own a piece of 5 racetracks. That's with my partner. Shit. We have a whole thing going, and we actually own 2 digital soccer teams. One which plays in a little bit here in a few minutes.
What?
Yeah. So, but yeah, no. Like, I was talking to him because, like, I was telling him about it, and he's like, "That sounds like something I want to put up on my bar on the screen." I'm like, "Oh no, I'll come out there when that happens." Like,
yeah,
when the shit drops, I will come out and do like a live episode from the bar that's streaming it in Brooklyn or whatever. Like,
yeah, that's cool, man. I love shit like that. I met this guy at a comedy club in New York, like right around when I moved there. And we were just like talking about like dumb, I don't know. I like, honestly, the record thing, I make a lot of stupid products, you know, and I was showing him one of them and we were laughing.
Yeah, like your signs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So specifically I made this, a toy, like an office toy basketball hoop that says Epstein was murdered on it. And I was talking to this guy about this, and we were laughing about that. And he was telling me that he was starting a digital cockfighting ring.
Oh,
And
yes.
Yeah.
Dude, 'cause when I first heard about digital horses, I was like, well, digital cockfighting is the next step. Like,
absolutely.
that's
totally. I mean, if it's illegal because you're hurting things, then you can do it digitally. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a video game. Like, dude, I can play a video game right now where I can murder like any like general in the army.
Yeah. I mean, there's one of my favorite games ever is called 13. It's like a first-person shooter based on a French comic, and in the game, you're the guy who killed JFK. That's the game. And so you should absolutely be able to fight dogs digitally for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I had DeDorian on a few months back, and I was telling him he's coming back on a couple weeks, everybody, for the NBA All-Star preview. So get ready for that. But I was explaining this to him. He just went, vegan horse racing. This is genius. It's
it's cool. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's cruelty free. And like also it runs 4 hours a day, fucking 365 days a year. There's action every 5 minutes. So for degenerate gamblers, and especially in a city like Vegas, for 24 hours, dude, if it really if they can legalize it, so it's hard to get stuff legalized to bet on here, believe it or not. Like than it is in other states now. Because with all the other, because of all the app law, like the Vegas, like the Nevada app law originally is like you have to sign up in person. So like FanDuel and a lot of these places aren't operating here because they don't want to set up a brick and mortar location.
Oh, it also makes sense because of that's the industry there. So all the established people don't want to compete.
They don't want to upset the apple cart of hospitality here.
Right, right. That makes sense. It's true though. It's cruelty free. That's like a great way to deal with shit like that.
But like, here's the thing: is I might just if Arizona gets it legalized, I might just fucking get a little bar on the other side of the river in Bullhead City, Arizona. And
how far is that from you?
Like an hour and a half.
Wow.
And just move down there because, like, dude, I was looking down there where I could buy a plot of land pretty cheap and build like a 3 tiny home compound.
Dude, crazy.
And have my own little like Michael Corleone compound down in Arizona.
Man. You're like the gambling Doug Stanhope, dude. I'm sure he's a gambler.
He actually does a show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network where I am affiliated with as well.
Cool.
This show's not officially on the network. I'm kind of off the books, but that's where I get my sponsors and whatnot.
Cool.
But Doug does a show with Sean Green and Brendan Walsh called Get to the Points. Where they
really?
And a big thing of what they do is they freeze frame which moments in games where you can see players' dicks. So it's a lot of fun.
That is the silliest idea for a show I've ever heard, hands down, dude. That is so funny, dude. I didn't realize that was such a thing, man.
Yeah, I didn't either. So, I was like, I hadn't been listening to the show, and then one day I threw it on, and I'm like, Kramer, Sean's partner at the Sports Gambling Podcast, me and him have a show coming out on the network soon about the digital horses. He's my stable partner. And so he and I was talking to him and I was like, man, I was listening to Sean and them show right now. Like they're talking about guys' dicks. He's like, oh yeah, that's a big thing with them every week. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize like that's the whole segment. Like,
damn, that's awesome. God, Sean's so funny, man. I haven't seen him in a long time.
I'm actually going to be hanging out with him. If anybody's listening in live here, watching live here, I'm going to be down at Circa on Fremont Street tonight with Sean watching college basketball. So if anybody wants to come hang out with us and have a cocktail,
rad, dude.
Yeah, because
does Sean live there?
No, him and Kramer now. They fly out every Friday. To do a live version of Sports Gambling Podcast for the VSiN TV network here that were the studios at Circa.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, and so they hook us up with like a bunch of drink tickets and stuff. So like I usually go down there and drink their free drinks while they're shopping. See, my job here now is I only work Monday through Thursday, so I have Fridays off. So what I'll do is I'll go down and pick Jen up from the Circa or from where she works.
Yeah.
And Circa's on the way home from there. And then she can take my car, do whatever, and just come pick me up later when I'm drunk. It works perfect.
Awesome, dude. Yo, dude, you have a great life there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Well, because it's funny because you asked earlier like why I moved here. It was because I was supposed to get get a pool route going. And then my buddy,
mean? What's that?
I was gonna be a pool guy, clean and swimming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. was gonna have my own route, like where I kind of own it, have my own little business. And
Yeah.
the guy, my buddy that I moved out here for to do that with, he kind of ghosted me after a couple of months.
Fuck.
And but I
brutal.
ended up landing on my feet because an old buddy of mine that I used to work in dispensaries with back in California, he was doing cannabis stuff out here, and I kind of always wanted to get back in that anyway. So now I do quality control for cannabis companies, and I changed jobs. I was at the other one for 4 years, and now I've been at this other one. It'll be a year in May. So
I'm imagining this job is just you smoking bowl after bowl all day, going, it's weed. It's weed. Yeah.
It's mostly me dealing with all like the proper, making sure all the labels are right for the
of course. Yeah, no. Yeah,
but yeah,
that would be a wild job. There's no way that exists. No.
But I get free samples though. So
okay.
I do that.
Sure.
I don't get paid to do that.
It's just not part of the
week.
Yeah.
But 410s, I realize, is the only humane way to work now.
What do you mean?
If I'm going to work a full-time job.
Oh, dude, I've heard of this. Yeah.
410s versus 5/8s, dude. Like I get a 3-day weekend every weekend. It's funny because I only get a couple I only get like the main holidays. One of the guys I worked with was bitching because he came from more of the corporate world where you get every little holiday.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I get a 3-day weekend every weekend.
Dude, also, are you working from home? You do this from home?
No. I go there.
How long is your commute? Is why I'm asking.
It takes me about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic.
Oh, okay. The reason I ask is
in the morning, it takes me like a half hour because
really?
I leave here. I wake up at like 4:30 and I'm out the door like just after 5.
I ask just because, like, in my experience, 5/8 is 5/10s. And I'm lucky enough to have not had a day job in a minute. I'm like all freelance. Though I will say that I'm not rich and I'm not even stable. So that's like just working 24 hours a day every fucking day, honestly. But I haven't had that day job in a while. But when I did, I like had to commute through LA traffic from Echo Park to Century City every fucking day, there and back.
Yeah, 410s would have been 10 times better to wake up 2 hours earlier.
Exactly.
And just go in early where you get less traffic on the way in.
Exactly. It would have been the same thing. And then I would have been in traffic less. Yeah. Totally.
And you would have that whole extra day to yourself.
Totally.
Funny, when I first took the job and I was telling a friend of the show, I think he's going to be on next week, actually, Brian Cook, about it.
Oh, Brian. Great, man.
Cook was just like, he was like, dude, if you work there for 7 years, you get a year of your life back.
Wow. Yeah. That's wild.
And I was like, that's kind of crazy to think. Like,
yeah, dude. I'm also like, I'm fucking looking for a job now, literally because I mean, this is like a little bit of a long thing. I mean, it's obviously because I need money, but it's also because I don't want to continue trying to eke out money from comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's how I got, because like I was like, dude, I mean, I booked a couple national commercials there and stuff. Like I was booking acting work, not like super regularly, but enough where like you could see a path.
It was paying off. Sure. Yeah.
Like, and then I finally like realized, I'm like, dude, this is like way too much, because it's like I have like you bomb 3 auditions in a row and it starts getting desperate. Like, I have to get this. Like,
no, it's a panicky life for sure.
Yeah. And like out here with this, the cannabis industry, like it's a lot more low key stressful. The people I work with, it's pretty much like being around comics, a bunch of like fucking line cooks that are jerking off kind of crowd, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I like what I'm doing, because then I get I don't really do stand up anymore. I haven't done stand up in years, really. So it's like,
oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so now I just fucking focus on doing this show, having fun. I've been building a website for this where, like I was telling you in our chat, like leading up to this, like I'm kind of going for the DGen Martha Stewart thing, where there's like cocktail recipes, appetizer, party recipes. I'm gonna have all kinds of shit like that, plus local reviews on like the sports books, casinos, the different bars I go to in Vegas and stuff. Because dude, most people just come and they stay at their hotel on the Strip or whatever, and they go to maybe the place next door, those 2 places, and that's it for their weekend. But there's so many cool little hidden gems around town that are super cheap and affordable. Like, dude, they don't juice locals the way they do you guys, like people coming to visit.
Yeah,
and
people
so, like, yeah, like I over the summer I had a couple buddies in town, and I took them to this one local spot up the street from me. It's a really nice spot. and they were blown away. They're just like, holy shit, like I'm staying here next time, you know, like holy shit, like this is way better. And I'm like, yeah, and like the games are cheaper, like, you know, the like the drinks are cheaper, like everything's they actually will give you a comps versus,
not to be like I mean, this is like sort of on theme, but not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I wonder how much of that is like, I don't know. I would imagine there's not laws on the books, but there's got to be like a little bit of an infrastructure there that the casinos have to not direct tourists to those fucking places and keep them in the casinos.
I'll tell you what, so the local spots are basically they're separate chains, pretty much.
What do you mean?
There's Station Casino, like there's Caesars, right? There's the big names down the strip, but then like Wynn and stuff. But then you come on off the strip, like in the local spots, like the Station chain is really big. Like they own Red Rock, they own Durango State, and like Santa Fe Station, Palace Station. Palace Station's where OJ got arrested for trying to steal his own memorabilia back. Boulder Station, and they're all really nice, dude. And like, okay, these local spots, they're different than your average casino because they usually have a bowling alley, they usually have a movie theater. It's like a community center, and like there's a food court. So it's like, there's a lot of times I'm not even coming to gamble. I'll just go there on a Friday night, grab a sandwich, go grab some drinks in the bowling alley bar, or, you know, like something, go to the, that's right. Go to the movies. It's one of the, you know, like.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly, if I knew about that shit when I went to Vegas, I would go to Vegas more. Cause like the big casinos are a spectacle. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. It's like being in, adult Disneyland is totally accurate. It's pretty lights and you get fucked up and it's like you have a great time. But after a day or two, I'm like, all right, now I'm inside of a Coca-Cola commercial and I'm tired of that.
Yeah. The local spots too. It's a bit like Red Rock's a great one because it's right next to Red Rock National Park. So it's like, dude, really? You can go stay there for the weekend and spend an afternoon fucking go hiking in the trails there and stuff. And like, you know, there's cool shit to do. Like, so that's one thing I've really learned about this. Like, there's a lot. The city offers a lot that people don't realize, like especially
that makes sense.
You don't realize how much outdoor activity is here, even though in the summer it's not really like that great. And it's one of those things where at a certain point you end up like, I haven't gotten the dirt bike yet, but you end up with some sort of off-road thing, a gun, and golf. And like I did the golf first, and then I had to get the gun because I had a guy jerking off outside my window.
Sure,
I'm gonna blow his dick off if this guy comes back.
Damn, dude, you got a lot of people jerking off outside your window in your life.
That's true, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Outside your window at your house, this guy was jerking off.
Yeah. Well, and our neighbors. I mean, I'll be honest. It wasn't just. I don't want to feel special.
Hey, Scott, I'm back. It was Barack Obama. That's the thing that people don't realize. It was actually Barack Obama.
You know what? Let's get into it, Dave, because
okay, let's get into it.
This was like kind of the theme of the show, but like I've done this before with Decker, where
damn.
I think there's too many conspiracies out there, you know, especially just this month alone. Dear God, for everything from the NFL is rigged to the wildfire stuff, like just it's batshit insane.
I know. Especially since like there's big fun ones, man. Like
exactly, there's like real ones. Like
if you, dude, like if you read about Hollow Earth, then that should sate you. That should be enough for your conspiracy brain. Hollow Earth is fun as hell, dude.
Once you realize that almost every president that followed JFK was in Dallas, Texas on November 22nd, 1963, and one of them was on the fucking Warren Commission and Gerald Ford. You start going,
is it true?
Yeah, and Bush was Bush allegedly had never been in the CIA ever, and then they appointed him director right when they started doing the House Committee on Assassinations.
Damn,
there's a lot of stuff there. Like I always say, like the people that go, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist on that one." I'm like, well, Oswald defected to Russia, lived there for 6 months, and came back with a Russian wife after giving them like military secrets from his time in the Marines.
Yeah,
and he was not penalized at all. If that's not an intelligence agent, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Right.
Like, and they always denied him being an intelligence agent. So therefore, it could have been him alone acting on his own. But as long as there's that smoke of him being denied a part of the intelligence community, it makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. It like spider webs out.
You know? Yeah. Damn, I didn't know any of it. I'm not like I don't know. I'm not nearly as into this shit as you. I also have. I guess I like don't know my history that well, so I'm here to learn, buddy.
Dude, like Operation Mongoose, Operation Northwood, good stuff to look at. Regarding
those are the two guys who were jerking off outside your window, right?
Yeah, Mongoose was the guy with the really big. They look like a mongoose. That thing. Look at that fucking side. Yeah. Okay, so I got some new conspiracies. I think we need new conspiracies.
I would love that. Let's go, dude.
All right, so here's my first one. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. It's not real.
Wow. So everybody who tells you they're in AA, where is that coming from? What are they doing?
A human trafficking cult.
I see.
Man, they bring people, like they get people that are looking for help at their most vulnerable.
I see.
And then they sneak them off into their pipeline.
Okay, but then how does that explain that I know lots of people who've been in the program for years and years and years? And I should also say I'm on board. I believe you, but I don't know how to explain it.
I'll tell you right now. How many of those people you know in the program, that fourth step where they're supposed to call and apologize, how many of them ever did that to you?
Yeah, no, none. I know. And you know what's fucked up? I've been thinking about that recently. There's a couple people where I'm like, there's no way I'm not on your call list, man.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
That's where I felt this, because I've seen people talk about it on social media, how sober they are, and I'm like, wait, they've been doing this shtick for a while. They gotta be on that fucking apology shit by now, and I got something coming to me. So.
Damn, that's funny, man. So, okay, but then what do they get from joining? They just disappear into the world? Or you're saying the people that I know who've been in the program forever they're traffickers. Okay.
Yeah, they're human traffickers.
My friend Laura is a human
deep Epstein level.
Wow. She's been in the program. She's so what's the hierarchy here?
Like, in all seriousness though, like there is like a problem that no one ever talks about in AA of like sexual predators running around these things because of its anonymous.
Is that true?
You know? Yeah, dude.
Oh God,
guys, man. Dude, think about it like this. Think about all the creepy guys you saw doing stand-up. Picture them with a woman who's at their most vulnerable. I'll be your sponsor. You want to go? Want to come right with me after hours? Same shit.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
there's fucking creeps everywhere, man.
Yeah, and like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Because of like the whole like anonymous, like Alcoholics Anonymous. Hey, you're not supposed to give your last name. All this stuff, dude. People, yeah.
Man, have I ever told you this? I went to one program meeting once in my life. I was in one of those like really short relationships where like really early on we convinced ourselves and each other that this was the deal. This was the one. It was like a huge romance immediately, and then it just crashed and burned after 4 months.
Oh yeah, the high and the low.
Yeah, totally. And so to like 2 or 3 months into the relationship, we got into like a big fight, and I was like so like convinced like that this was the one. I was like, man, maybe I have some sort of like toxic qualities that are so intense I'm not seeing them, and I have like human addiction problems or something like that that's making. So I went to a Codependence Anonymous meeting. I was like Googling around being like, maybe I have like, yeah, something like this. So I went to this Codependence Anonymous meeting, and it was at a hospital in like Mid-Wilshire, and in this just like little room, and there was like 8 other people there. And I went with a completely open heart and mind. And I went and I sat, and obviously I'm not going to like say whatever transpired there, but I will say I was sitting in the meeting and I was like, I for sure do not have this problem. And I got problems, obviously. And it was funny. It was like after the meeting, a guy came up to me and he like handed me a pamphlet. He was like, hey, is your first time? And I was like, yeah, I'm like kicking around the idea. I don't know. And he was like, so what's going on? And I was like, I've been fighting with my partner, you know? And he's like, okay. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, I feel like I'm taking things personally. And like, we're just like at odds. And it feels like it's personal to a degree that's like, maybe I'm doing that. And he was like, okay. And I was like, you know, I never like flip out, never scream or I'm never violent or anything. And he literally goes, wow, that's good. In this way where I was like, oh no.
No, what you're describing kind of reminds me of that Sopranos where Janice goes to the Rageaholics meeting and it just turns out she's like way more like she's so much more insane than these other people. She can't be helped. Like the other ones there are working on stuff. She can't be helped. She's just there to find a way to get it out on people. And she'll get some pushback and it'll make her feel alive. Kind of
there actually was a guy in this meeting who was like that. He showed up late and then they were like, clearly these people, and honestly, like my heart goes out to, and like I commend these people that were in the room that day were like working on like a serious codependency problem that you can see they had been like dealing with and accepting their own issues with, and it was like it's hard and impressive. And like really, and they're like being calm and like describing their interactions, and I was like, oh shit, like this is really real for these people. And this one guy walks in and he's definitely like, they know him and he's got this issue. And I think he thinks because he's been there a while and he has the language that he's dealt with it the way that they have. And he for sure has not. And he just starts telling stories. And while telling stories, gets really riled up and like kicks a chair over. And I was like, oh, man. That guy's Janice for sure.
I mean, years ago, I got a DUI and had to go to some AA meetings. And like, I know. Cause like, I mean, the ones I went to in LA and some of them seem like networking. And some of them just seem like guys that were like treating it like an open mic.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude!
Like trying to one up each other and have the best
AA
story.
especially is going to be like that because that's like the one where you are court ordered to go and like everybody drinks, so there's a lot more people there. Yeah, AA and NA. I think there are some people that go there to get laughs for sure.
Oh yeah, and traffic people. All right,
right. Okay,
we'll move on. We'll move on to the next one.
That's the best way to spread a conspiracy theory, to just at the very end of a conversation say, and they traffic people and they're sex traffickers. Okay, anyway. No response. Okay, next one. Sure.
All right, so George Washington.
Oh, here we fucking go. Yeah, dude. Tell me this is gonna be about the cherry tree. Please,
George Washington was trans.
Yes. Oh, I would. Dude, I used to have this joke that would fucking audiences did not know how to process it. And I stopped doing it, but I still love it. And the joke was literally like, how would you feel if you found out that both your mom and your dad are trans and your mom's the one with the dick and she fucks your dad in his pussy? And crowds would just be like, I don't know, Dave. I don't know. I would love it if George Washington was trans. That would kick ass, man.
All right, here's my truth. We don't have fake teeth.
Wait, what does it have to do with? What does being trans have to do with teeth?
Nothing, but okay. We're just poking holes in him as a person. Was he a real person?
I see. You're saying that
or a wig, right? Or
I see. But the reason he had fake teeth was that he had like horrible hygiene and he had like wooden teeth and
maybe
shit.
He had wooden teeth because he also had a wooden dick.
I suppose back then. Oh, so you're saying yeah.
It took a woman to lead this country early on. Or a biological one. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know.
How do you say it? Yeah, it's assigned female at birth. That's what it is. AFAB. Yeah.
I knew there was like a saying for it, and I don't want anyone to shit all over me for this one. Instead, let's focus on
you're doing it right.
George Washington was trans.
But you're saying George Washington was assigned female at birth and transitioned into a man
to lead the nation because and I don't think it was actually because of like a gender identity thing. I think it was because knew that couldn't be taken like back then. Only a man can own land and be taken serious and own slaves and stuff. So it's like, no, I want to go like this route.
Okay, but I would argue that if that were the case, that this woman would probably just cross-dress. And if you're saying
like
he's trans, right? You're not going to get, if you just are trying to succeed, you're not going to go so far as to get a wooden dick, which is definitely what would have happened if you're trying to get a dick in the 18th century. So I agree with your original point. George Washington is assigned female at birth, transitioned into a man, using wood, and then
And
use some of the wood that was left over from making his dick to make his teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great. And the wig, got it.
And the
Yeah,
wig,
this
and
makes sense to
also
me.
The only president that was never a member of a political party.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Man.
It was the first president. They're like, hey, let's have this election. Everyone's like, let's just vote for George Washington. Motherfucker won the war. Beat the British.
So you're saying like,
why do we have to fucking to argue about this? And early on, everybody was on the same team because they were all, and then it wasn't until like Jefferson and Adams where you essentially start getting the divide in politics.
No, and I see this. It's only a cis man who would be like, we have to have parties.
Yeah.
A queer person's like,
like,
whatever. Let's all be. Yeah. This is, you know what? I think you're right. I think this is true. And I also think he is a human trafficker.
And yeah, interesting. I mean, like legit though, owned slaves. I mean,
I know, dude. Fuck.
Well, what the interesting thing about Washington though, for real, is back then the capital early on was in New York, and that Washington didn't have enough money actually to travel from Virginia to New York for the inauguration, for the first inauguration of.
Damn, is that true?
Yeah, because
his own inauguration.
He was basically the largest landowner in the 13 colonies. Like he owned more land than anybody because he had a big land. He was a surveyor. So that was like early in his career. And like when you're the first surveyor in an area, you just scope out a piece of land. You're like, all right, this is mine.
That's mine.
You scope out another piece.
That's Tom's.
That's mine. You know, and then you keep doing it. And then he also did that for his brother. And then his brother died and left him everything.
Holy
shit. So then they combined everything. And he had like crazy.
And why didn't he have enough money to go to New York?
He didn't have like liquid capital, like cash.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, you have all that land and slaves, and you're like, oh, crop doesn't come out for another quarter month, master.
So you don't think that George? That's crazy. Is that true? He couldn't have given someone like a
borrow money to get to fucking New York for his fucking inauguration.
You would think
that there would be like a federal order, but see, there wasn't really a federal government as we know.
Right.
It was
13, but also, you would think that he could just like give a plot of land to someone for like a horse ticket.
I think like you would think like Ben Franklin or Thomas Jefferson or one of those guys would have been like, "Hey, bro, I got you. I'll give you a ride."
Also, couldn't he just ride a horse? I don't understand the problem here. Didn't he run an army? Couldn't the?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing this on like the presidents or whatever on History Channel.
Oh well.
So we know History Channel has all the aliens and Bigfoot stuff. There's no way they're a lot wrong about George Washington.
I will say this, speaking of conspiracy theorists, that like I think about it all the time, how like especially the 18th century and earlier, like some of the things that you learn in history class are like, I mean, obviously there's the whole Howard Zinn, like fucking from the perspective of the colonizers thing. But on top of that, like just the stories you hear, like the cherry tree thing has always been like, what is that? What the fuck is that? I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that happened. Also, he chopped down the cherry tree and then he told his father that he did it. You're still an asshole. Yeah. I never really understood the point of this story. Yeah, dude,
I did that.
You're just like an honest bully.
It's like the better version of, if it's supposed to be a morality tale, the Simpsons did it better when Bart cut the fucking guy's head off the statue.
Yeah. Totally. Did he say I cannot tell a lie in the episode? I don't remember. I'm sure.
I can't remember. I think like
God, that show.
All right.
So good.
That's George Washington.
Got it.
That's okay. So next one. This one's kind of boring, honestly. Like it's not as good. It's not as well thought out. But hear me out here. Ted Bundy didn't do it.
Okay. Wait, I actually don't know. Ted Bundy, didn't he like seduce and kill like how many women? Was it?
A lot.
Yeah,
like,
a lot. Yeah.
Like 30 something at least, but maybe not.
Who do you think did it?
Well, see, because he was a young Republican that worked on the Barry Goldwater campaign. So I think that he took
JFK.
the fall. He took the fall for Barry Goldwater, who was actually secretly out there doing it on his own.
That's not crazy. That like of all the joking we're doing here, like I sort of believe that.
Yeah, like that's why I was saying it's kind of boring because it's like,
like, yeah, dude. Republicans do everything that they rail against. They are always getting caught doing the exact thing they say is wrong, dude.
So Barry Goldwater is the big anti-crime guy in the 60s.
Yeah, totally.
So maybe Ted Bundy, or maybe he learned from Barry Goldwater. Maybe it was like a mentor protege thing. See, I haven't completely developed this one yet.
I see.
A Barry Goldwater Ted Bundy connection that we're not quite putting together.
I like this in every single way, dude. And I think that this is true across the board of every famous serial killer in history, man. I'm going to say I think Lee Atwater was the Zodiac. I think
I thought for a while I thought Kaczynski was the Zodiac because
Ted
he was
Kaczynski.
Well, he was working at Cal at the time, so he was in the Bay Area, and just what are the odds of two homicidal maniacs that sent threatening letters to the authorities being in the same place? I mean, there was, it looks like, but like it just
that's true. But Ted Kaczynski,
he doesn't fit the profile in a lot of ways. Yeah, no,
yeah, totally.
Well, just the idea of like he gave out a lot. They both dealt with codes, like letters. They both had like manifesto type stuff. Like there was just a lot of parallels there. Maybe Kaczynski was inspired by the Zodiac because he was there in the Bay Area at the time, and he saw the fear.
Just like the idea that famous rich Republicans are all serial killers. I think that's great.
Yeah,
man. H.W. Bush's Ed Gein.
No, H.W. Bush was part of the Kennedy assassination. We've already gone over this. Like that,
sorry,
that's real. Like,
my bad. Okay.
Well, yeah, and like, yeah, like, dude, Dick Cheney. We already know he shot it. He admitted to shooting that one dude.
Oh, dude, I was a radio DJ in Fresno, California for 2 years.
That's
right.
I
was like a sidekick during the week, but I had like a shift or two of my own on the weekend.
Zoo air horn.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I remember I was sitting in the studio. I was working noon to 4 on Saturday or Sunday. And I'm reading the news, and I was like, no fucking way, dude. I was live on the radio when he shot that dude in the fucking face. And I just like stopped in the middle of a Linkin Park song, and I was like, you guys are not going to believe this. Oh, man, what a joyous time. Good Lord.
For this
Remember
next
he shot that guy too, and then the guy apologized to him.
Yeah, that's power, dude. That's power, bro.
Dude.
That's real power.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, so we're going back to politics for this one again. 3 in a row. Recently deceased Jimmy Carter. Died of AIDS.
Oh, dude, I posted something recently where I said that George Soros murdered Jimmy Carter, and I feel like this is just like a type of thing that brings me a lot of joy, is what I'm saying.
So here's my proof that Jimmy Carter died of AIDS.
Okay.
The dude outlived his wife by a few years. We know seniors get very active when their loved ones pass on. And there's, because of Viagra, they can see, like, over the last 15, 20 years, one of the largest groups of STD transmissions and whatnot is from the senior citizen group, because they're all on Viagra.
Yeah, what's the name of
these like retirement homes?
What's the name of the Florida retirement home that has like
Coochie City?
I think it's called the Villages or something. I don't know. It's like this massive retirement community. It's like the highest per capita concentration by far of STDs in the world.
Okay, so we know this about the elderly already. And you're telling me, did you see when he died? He had like weird spots all over his body.
Yeah, but he was like 500 years old, man.
Yeah, well. But when he was when he was like 498, he was out there building houses, and he was fucking very active, and all of a sudden he turns 500 and drops dead. That doesn't just happen.
Damn. Okay, well, yeah. It doesn't sound wrong, man. You're right.
You know?
And honestly, I hope that for Jimmy Carter. I hope he was fucking like crazy in his extreme twilight years. That'd be great. Good for him.
97, just fucking raw dogging all over town.
Man, yeah. Builds a house and then fucking in it.
You know Bill Clinton's going to do that. You know it's going to get real shameless with Bill Clinton because he'll die after Hillary, for sure. Hillary will die before him.
Totally.
And he'll have a nice, because dude, that's one thing you realize. Carter made me realize every president now, they prop them up with a spoon up their ass and make them live to 100 no matter what.
Yeah, they do, man. No, and you're right. And Bill Clinton is like a known predator. It's just known. There's just like stories that we've been told for years. It's true. It's clearly
like Tiger Woods level horny, where it's like
crazy,
knocking off Applebee's fucking hostesses and shit. Like where it's like,
well, and he's like a fucking sociopath, dude. He's like he's like the definition of a sociopath, that motherfucker. He knows how to talk to anyone into doing. Everyone always said that too. I remember being a kid and hearing that as a compliment, like he can convince anyone to do anything. And now it's like, oh my God.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's awful. You should not be able to do that.
Well, it's funny because like with the news, you heard of the news about Obama, right? Where him and Aniston allegedly had been having an affair.
No, I haven't heard that.
And I see, and like that's a theory that's out there right now, and a lot. But like apparently, like him and Michelle might be getting into. There might be something to it, actually.
Really,
it's very funny, and it's like because you imagine like Bill Clinton's got to be really pissed when he finds out. Like, wait, he has affairs with Jennifer Aniston. Like,
yeah,
fuck, I fucked up. Like.
Obama also does, forgive me, I have a bit about this. I'm so sorry. But since he stopped being president, he's gotten so annoying with what a celebrity chaser he is.
Dude, yeah, exactly. This seems right. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
dude, also, here's a fun fact about Obama. I was like, one day I was drunk with friends at a bar and I was like, let's see who's on WikiFeet. And so I like looked up, by the way, did you know I had never gone to the website before? WikiFeet Men is a separate website. Though you can't search for men on WikiFeet. You have to go to WikiFeet Men.
And so this is like a foot fetish wiki site.
Yeah, and you can just search anyone and then it catalogs foot photos, right? And so I like most people I am buddies with do not have a page. I don't have a page. And I forget which like comics we knew that had one. But then we started looking up celebrities and we looked up Obama. Obama's WikiFeet
with a bunch of comics that
I know, totally. And then all of us went to your house and jerked off in the window immediately after that. We looked up Obama, dude. Obama's WikiFeet photos are like for sure taken by a professional photographer. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's like him walking down the beach and there's like a fisheye lens and shit. It's like, how much money did you spend on getting your
Netflix deal, dude?
Oh my God, man.
You know what you want about the son of a bitch and the way he backtracks single payer healthcare, but at least he's got a fucking national production value.
I know, dude. And at least, yeah, I know. Thank you so much. You killed a bunch of people in Yemen, but now we have Spotify playlists.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You may have drone strike the fucking half the Middle East out of existence, but guess what, buddy? I know what movies you like last.
Oh man, as if like people are sitting around being like, can you believe Barack Obama likes the Arctic monkeys?
He's doing the backwards too. You're supposed to be a celebrity first and then get into politics.
That's absolutely how. Yeah, totally. Fuck. Have you seen the list of people they're saying are going to run in 2028? I'm not remembering who's on it, but it's
probably like it's probably like how it was like at the end of the Civil War with the Confederacy, where like all their generals got killed. Basically, they had to promote like the most bottom level, like the high level positions that by that point were just the worst, like lowest, like dropout guy. You know, like
no, it's not. I'm not even talking politicians. I saw something about like a handful of celebrities that say they're going to run in 2028.
God. That could be fun. You know, 2028 has the potential to be like the California governor recall election.
Dude.
Where, like,
that election rocked. That was so fun.
Gary Coleman,
Dee Snider on the podium singing "We're Not Going to Take It" with one of the richest men in the world.
Dude, that shit ruled so hard. Gary Coleman putting together a campaign was amazing. And then like having to be like, hey, I'm not like that porn star Mary Carey. I was on Different Strokes.
Yeah, that was wild, man. That shit was nuts.
Okay, so this one, this is the last one I got. Lizard people aren't actually reptiles; they're amphibians. I think we can all agree on this. We've seen them.
What makes you say that? Wait, where does that? I don't understand that one.
Oh, it's just that one's more
a little deeper.
I woke up in the middle of the night and just kind of scribbled that down. That was kind of like a.
What you're saying is that the Illuminati can swim?
Yeah, it's not this subterranean reptile people that I think they're more.
They live in Atlantis.
The ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure. Okay. I mean, I saw Aquaman. Makes sense to me.
It's like, yeah, they're basically a bunch of Aquaman. That would be a sick, fucking race of Aquaman that control us, but not in a fun way.
Wait, what do you mean not in a fun way? What way? Well, wait, what would be fun about being controlled? Scott.
Well, it's like Atlantis, just down there pulling the strings, but kind of saying, just keeping to themselves, not,
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like
you
boring.
can be a benevolent dictator.
I see. They don't hate us.
No. They hate us, but they could choose to not hate us. What I'm saying.
That's so funny, dude. I love the idea that they live in the ocean and they're benevolent. Like what? I guess you're right. I guess the world's not so bad.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we may have these overlords that aren't quite human, but they kind of like us.
Yeah, dude.
Throw us a bone occasionally, huh?
Totally. We got videos of dogs. They gave us that.
I got digital fucking horses I get to race.
Yeah, totally.
World can't be that bad.
Sure. Well, I believe that, man.
So that's about all I got for the conspiracies.
Dude, well, I believe every single one, and I will be telling people. I will be repeating this to everyone, and I will not be crediting you, just so you know.
That's great. That's a conspiracy to really start. It's like, if everyone's constantly quoting me, there's a place to clearly take it back to. But if other people start taking it and running with it, then it spreads quicker.
I am going to be telling people that you are one of our overlords. I'm going to start everything with Scott Bowser's a fish, everybody.
Amphibian.
Sorry, he's a frog.
More of a salamander.
Oh, God, that's so dumb. Dude, you're the best. It's good to see you, man.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All right, before we go, I've been on a heater with these, so I'm going to give out for my sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. I give out a pick'em entry each week on the show to wrap up the show here. And so tomorrow, this is for tomorrow, Saturday. There's not much up on there right now for college basketball, unfortunately, but I was able to put together a good one for Saturday. So if you hear this on Friday or Saturday morning, you'll have time to put this in. We like Ace Bailey. This is a higher or lower. So you got to pick whether a guy's going to go higher or lower, different stat total. So Ace Bailey for Rutgers in the Rutgers-Michigan game, higher 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined. I've been watching this kid. He looks like potentially a future NBA guy, good point guard. He's probably not going to get a lot of rebounds, but I can see him getting 25 points, and then he just needs what at that point? 4 assists, two rebounds. I think he's got it. And then Cooper Flagg for Duke in the Duke North Carolina game. That's gonna be a big game tomorrow. Over 23.5 points or higher. Excuse me, I'm not supposed to say that. Higher 23.5 points. And then on the other side for North Carolina, Ian Jackson, higher 18.5 points, rebounds, assists. And that is 6 times your money. You listened to me last week on the Boner episode. That one hit. If you sat through all the Boner talk, you got paid at the end. All right.
I can't believe I just found out that this wasn't the Boner episode.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, if you last week, if anybody listening to this wants to go back and listen to last week, my brother and I broke down this freak I found online. This guy, Brian Johnson. Have you heard about this guy?
No.
He thinks he's not going to die. He thinks he's figured out a way to never die.
I have heard about this guy.
Yeah. And he just had a good one the other day. Okay, I got to give an update on him actually, because he's had a good one. Last week he posted a chart of him and his 19-year-old son, how he charts their nighttime erection.
Oh, you said this. That's right. Oh my God, what a fucking lunatic, man.
And then, dude, if you want to know how much weirder it gets, this week he posted a thing. He's like, "I'm no longer injecting my son's blood. I'm now injecting his plasma." And I was like,
what the fuck,
what
man?
the fuck, you freak? Like, dear God,
this is not. If you should just die, man.
Yeah.
I feel like if this is the way to not die, maybe just die.
This is the kind of guy. This guy's like 43, 44, or whatever. Like, he's like around our age, like.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, dude, like, I hope you get hit by I hope you get hit by a cyber truck tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, but if you get hit by a Cybertruck, it doesn't hurt.
this guy getting ran over and killed by a cyber truck would be one of the funniest fucking things. One of the funniest outcomes for a death for this guy.
He's like in the middle of a press conference about how to extend your life, and he gets shot right between the eyes.
Yeah, Chris Biggins in the chat saying he did sit through the boner episode. Good for you. A lot of good stuff in there. And we also gave out some, hey, every gambling pick I gave out on that basically hit. So if you sat through the boner, you got some gambling advice. But this week was more conspiracy themed because it's kind of an off week until the Super Bowl. But hey, good stuff. Dave, do you got anything you want to plug for the people?
I'm at Dave to the Ross, DAVETOTHEROSS on everything, Instagram and TikTok and shit. And right now, I just have my podcast, Billionaires Are Good. Listen to that. We talk about a different billionaire every week, and we act like morons. It's fun.
I actually know a billionaire out here.
Oh, really?
Owner at Circa, yeah, Derek.
No shit,
he got me drinks a few times and shit.
Cool. Well,
and
better.
And I met since I moved out here and bought me a beer one day. Fucking Mark Cuban.
Whoa, cool.
Dude,
he's the coolest billionaire. For sure.
I impressed him because I asked him, I'm like, hey, dude, do you think your work back in the day for doing broadcastnews.com kind of paved the way for a modern podcast network? Because you were kind of the first online thing that its own like stable of hosts and own online talent. And he like looked at me, he's like, no, I never thought of it like that before, but I guess you're right. Like we were independent from everything else and had our own. Yeah. He's like, wow. Yeah. We just you do it via the RSS podcast, kind of thing. Like, wait, but like,
damn, that's cool, man. That's great.
So yeah, and so he was like, yeah. He's like, and he just kind of motioned to the guy, and he's like, the guy's like, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, give me another Heineken.
Yeah, nice, dude. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so he was pretty cool. And years ago, this was like when I was like 22, it was like 2001. I met Vince McMahon here. I probably shouldn't be too proud of that.
Holy shit, that's crazy, dude.
And I just kind of shook his hand briefly in the hallway. But he's like, "Nice to meet you."
Yeah, sure.
Dude, that's fucking huge because I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'3".
Yeah. He's bigger than you,
dude. He's taller than me and like twice as wide.
Holy shit! Yeah, he's wide. You can tell he's fucking wide. Dude. Yeah,
huge fucking guy. Like it's like I saw Ray Lewis one time, former NFL player, and like he's shorter than me, but like, dude, yeah, he was the same kind of like width where you're like, holy shit, his shoulders like 4 people. Like it's insane.
Crazy.
But, make sure you follow the show at LuxOpsPod on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Make sure you use our MyBookie and Underdog promo codes. Underdog is LSH. MyBookie is Bowser. And then I really can't think. Oh, our Patreon is only $1 a month for commercial-free episodes. And then I am very close to finishing releasing Luxops Here podcast. I'm actually going to a meeting about this with my web guy in a little bit. But LuxOpsHerePodcast.com coming soon, where I'll have cocktail recipes, food, good party recipes. If you want to take, I get it. Not everybody can come to Vegas all the time. I'm going to take Vegas to you with my next level food presentation, cocktails, and ways to gamble at home. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Hit subscribe and give us 5 stars if you're listening. And if not, go to our YouTube, give us a subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when we're going live. Dave, thank you so much, buddy. This is a blast.
So fun, dude. Thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah, bro. God bless you, everybody, and keep gambling.